Well, slurpty-diddly-do, my G's! How are you guys all doing today? I hope you guys are doing wonderful. On this blessed Sunday, I wish you all a wonderful day. Today we'll be reading from Corinthians 2, chapter 10, verse 12. This speaks to the concept of thief being the comparison being the thief of joy. So, oh, don't worry. I wouldn't dare say that I am as wonderful as these other men who tell you how good they are. Their trouble is that they are only comparing themselves with each other and measuring themselves against their own little ideas. What stupidity! So that's wonderful, isn't it? Let's proceed today with the proceedings. And in today's service, we will be talking a little bit about Serum 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the little free preset pack that I dropped. Serum Secrets. Serum Secrets. Don't tell anyone, but it's free. But everyone already downloaded it. But don't tell everyone. Okay. So I hope you guys liked that. There was some cool sounds there. I thought I'd maybe break down one of them. And there's a little thing. When I designed this preset pack, I was employing a new technique with Serum sound design, and so if you take a look at the effects panel on a lot of these presets, not all of them I should say, but the crusty razor, I used the overdrive right at the beginning, the distortion overdrive with the different stacks on, you know. Over here, the deep inspection as well, and the error and harm. Use the overdrive right at the beginning, and the mosquito blood. Okay, makes quite a difference on that one. The power outage as well. So a lot of the sounds were designed. I think this might be my favourite one on the free pack. By the way, as well, if you're new to the channel, if you grabbed the Serum Secrets, I've also got a Serum preset bundle on my website called Selections, and that has all of my Serum 2 presets in one download, and you get 250 presets, and you save about €25 versus if you buy the packs individually, you know, so it's a big saving on that bundle. But yes, like 5 great like preset packs inside that bundle, you know. So hopefully the Serum Secrets gives you a little bit of a taste of what's inside the Selections bundle, you know. But I think this is my favourite one from the free pack, the Sheepshank Redemption. And yeah, I was struggling with Serum for a while to get good results using the distortion, but when I started using the overdrive more with the stacks, I started to get some better sounds going. Still not quite as powerful as or as easy as my phase plant patches, but it's a little bit better. So there's a problem though that when you use this on high stacks, it can often cause this sort of click at the beginning of the sound always. So I'll often put like the mix on an LFO, so it kind of the mix of the distortion starts at 0, and then as it goes up, you know, then you avoid that click that sometimes happens down at the bottom, you know. But let's take a look at this Sheepshank Redemption patch, right? So it's really simple how it starts off, because it's just I'm just gonna have a quick sip of my coffee. And that's actually a decaf, by the way, because I know some of you guys who follow me quite closely know that I quit coffee. But yeah, I love the taste still, and I managed to buy some decaf to help me with my urges for coffee. It's actually still, I feel like it's still got a bit of caffeine in. Like I had about 6 or 7 the other day, and I felt like a little bit of a buzz off it. But that was quite excessive. I think if I have 2 or 3, I shouldn't really get any caffeine buzz off it. But anyway, so it's really simple. It starts with a square. Okay, and then we've got the tube mode on here. I don't think that's really doing much, to be fair. That's probably where I just tested it out and decided not to use it. But yeah, the normal square at -2. And then I've just got a low pass filter on it. It's already quite nice now because it's got this resonant part as well, because the resonance is up 32%. So it gives you a nice little bit of character there. And the cutoff goes, as you see, sort of from 100 up to 2K roughly on this LFO here. Just have to remember, I think I put the LFO 4 into the phase of LFO 3, right? So LFO 3 is like the main movement, and I use LFO 4 to track the phase of LFO 3, so the LFO 3 movement will skip around sometimes. This is what I refer to as an LFO sandwich, where you route one LFO into another one to change the position of the first one to give you more unpredictable movements. Okay, it'll be more obvious if I turn this up. Now you can see where the line is skipping around and the position keeps changing, but it's on like a really slow trajectory here. So it's more of a slower rhythm change across the note when you hold it down, you know. But let's continue with the sound design anyway. I put some white noise in here, so it's the color and then the white, very easy, and that's also put on the LFO on the level here. The filter's down a little bit here, and this doesn't go into the filter here. It goes, it bypasses that. I think it goes because I haven't pressed the N button here for the noise. So if I turn that off again, it just goes straight to the master, or the main, into the effects channel. Because otherwise, obviously, then I lose all the white noise essentially, because the white noise is really just in the high end, you know. So anyway, that's how simple it is to begin with, and then everything else happens in the effects, you know. So as I mentioned, first is that overdrive. And when you change the stacks, you'll get different tonalities always. So it's really, really random how it kind of works. But it's quite good though, because you've got so many stacks, you can just keep going until you've got quite a lot of options to choose from. And one of the numbers will be the lucky number. That's a bingo! Is that how you say it? Oh, just bingo. Bingo. Do you know what film that's from? Yeah, you do, don't you? Because you're cultured and educated and wonderful, aren't you, my Jews? You're not Philistines at all, are you? So anyway, the next thing... so I talked at the beginning of the video about having the mix on 0 and then it goes up. You see here... If I have it all the way up, you hear this sort of knock at the start of the sound. There's always this sort of harsh, click almost. And you can't really, get rid of it, you know? So that's why I like to put the mix starting at 0. But also, it just moves in line with the wub anyway, having the mix going from, 0 to 63. It goes wub on the mix with it, you know? So anyway, that's wonderful. That's done. Now I've got another distortion on. Which just pushes everything even more, essentially. The mix is at 78, and this time the drive is on the LFO from 0 up to 32%. And it's the sine shaper this time. And so we just have a little distortion combo. Distortion movement, adding dynamic power to the sound through the overdrive first and then the sine shaper. Okay, so it gets more aggressive, you know. Then I've got a filter, and this one is a notch filter, and it moves around the mid-range from 161 Hertz to 546 Hertz. The resonance at 10, the drive at 15, and it's on 100%. And this really gives the sound its shape now. Before is very, very flat, and now with the filter on, a lot more powerful in the low end. So you just remember when you're doing notch filters, you know, like this, it's quite extreme. I wouldn't do probably too many, like, you know, completely notching everything out. You can be more subtle sometimes and use like the peak filter, which has like it lets you, I don't know if I can see it now, but it will let you do like a more subtle notch, you know. But yeah, for this one as a one-off, I just did like a full notch filter. And remember, what's going to happen is the area you notch out, you're going to naturally emphasize the parts around it more, you know. So it kind of gives you like a boosted high end and a boosted low end when you notch in the middle like this. Okay, so the whole shape of the bass changes, but in this context, it kind of changes for the better, you know. So the sound has been distorted and then shaped, and then, you know, you can try with the filtering before the distortion as well. You can always have a little look how it works, you know, the other way around, and you'll soon find out which sound is going to be more powerful, you know. Sometimes you just have to test it. So this is the other thing, is like getting more high-end character than in Serum. I like to then use always the low-high splitter to do like a high-end distortion, just for the high-end, you know, because overall the Serum distortions still don't always sound that great on the whole sound, you know. I got away with it here, but yeah, when you split the bands and just distort the high end, it's easier to get like more volume and texture without disrupting the low end. So that's what I do here with the asymmetry. So you hear how it gives quite a lot more high end grit, you know. So that's really important to make the sound actually more audible, like, and cut through a heavy drum and bass mix down, you know. So the drive is also getting some movement on the LFO here. So it's always this dynamic distortion movement in line with my LFO. And the same actually on the cutoff position of the low-high splitter. So this is really, really useful. I do this quite a lot. And yeah, it starts up at 1,100 and it goes down to sort of 200. So you imagine as the distortion increases, you allow a bit more of the mid-range to be distorted as well. And so it gives you more like of a mid-range expressional, is that a word? Push at the top of the LFO always, you know? If you take that off, it's not then as dynamic again, you know? So this is a really cool thing to add like extra mid-range kind of punch, you know, by modulating the frequency split, you know. So that often helps. I do that quite a lot. And then with this sort of high-end distortion within the splitter still, I then put a bit of convolution on top of it as well. That makes a massive difference, to be fair. I said a little bit. Let me just have one more slurp. Shout out to all the original Slurp squad. Mikey G, Juki, all my Patreon Discord squad. Love you guys. So then it makes a massive difference, right? The convolution here. It gives you a whole new tonality to the sound, basically. It's sort of it's taking like the certain distorted character that we've created and expanding it, giving it a big, like a stereo room sound, but also with its own sort of character on as well. And so the Serum convolution sounds, again, like they're not all that great, to be fair, but I tend to just, for short ones that add character, I tend to try the coloration growlish is okay sometimes, but the short digital gated is usually the one that has always the best result. So I use that one a lot on a lot of patches. That kind of works quite well, you know. So yeah, the mix again is the mix on the LFO. I don't think that there might be. I think the mix is just on a macro here, but yeah, it makes a big difference. It brings the sound into the stereo realm finally, because we haven't really added that many stereo effects up until this point. So you really hear the difference now that that's in. Now there's just a few more plugins that I put on after the low-high splitter, just to like, round things off a bit. The chorus here, it's fairly subtle. Just a tiny bit of extra stereo at 22%, with a bit of movement on this low-pass filter on this chorus as well. It's a nice thing to modulate. Kind of opens up the high end of the chorus a bit more in line with the movement. Right, then we've got an EQ, just doing a little high shelf boost. Little, again, I said little, it's quite big, it's 5.5 dB. But this is great. It's not changing the sound, it's just enhancing everything that we've already done, just pushing up all of the high end. Because also remember again, the sound started off, low passed. So we took out a lot of high end originally. We just have a bit of high end in from the white noise and the sort of distortion characters that added a bit of extra high end grit. But it's not like it wasn't so much. So now the EQ is just sort of bringing all that up. So you can imagine like the kind of two distortion effects plus the white noise have created the high end texture, but it's still a bit low. So we bring all of that up with a boost here, and it sort of it gives you a fuller frequency spectrum again. Then so then at that point it already sounds finished pretty much. Really full and powerful. And all I'd done next then was added a little hall reverb, just to put the sound in a bit more of a space, have some depth in the background. And then there's a touch more EQing as a little kind of tweak. I have a little like high shelf movement. It's very, very subtle. It's like 2%. Let's give you like a tiny bit of a dynamic edge in the high end. And I took out a little bit of bass. Often if you distort things a lot like I have, it might add a lot of extra low end, and it could be too much in the kind of balance of things. So you can just take a bit of low end out if you ever have to, So that's it really. Then I did some macros as you saw. Slowing down the LFO, that kind of stuff. You can open up. I think we sort of open up some of the filters a little bit. So slightly more open sound. And then, you've also got noise. See that sort of white noise control, pushing that up a bit more. And then space as well. If you need extra reverb and stereo sound, So but that's basically the Sheepshank Redemption. And it's just one of those patches where, again, I made good use of the overdrive with a particular stack number to generate the sort of distortion tone that I was trying to get, and that's going like on everything, like on the square wave, like it's going on the whole frequency spectrum. It's distorting all of the low end of the square and everything on it, So it's a cool way to sometimes get like heavy and powerful tones and ideas going when you just try fiddling around with the overdrive and the different stacks, and just even with one wavetable and a little filter perhaps, you can like already generate loads of ideas through that, because it'll always if you distort it quite a lot with this, it'll always like completely spin around the sound into something new, so it's like a cool way you can like get some happy accidents going, So that's just my little tip for you guys today. All right, that's it for me today. Hope you guys have a great Sunday. Thanks again for all your support on the channel. Really cool that we hit 8,000 subscribers recently. We're already climbing up pretty fast since then as well. But there's already too many of you. I've already got too many comments and messages that I don't often get around to replying to. So I appreciate all of you guys on here. Big ups, much love. Have a great rest of your day. More from me soon. And also, before I leave as well, hit the like button. Leave us a comment down below. I will make, I'll do my best to read them and get back to you as well. And check out the other links down below to my Patreon, Discord community, my one-on-one lessons, mastering services, and my preset packs as well. And that's it for me today. Oh, also there's some affiliate links in case you want my recommended DNB sample packs and a few recommended mixing plugins as well. All right, that's it for me today then. More from me soon. Much love.